Okay, yeah,
It'll cover your daily fat.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and officially get started and call the meeting to order. Before we go into introductions and public comments, we do have one of our board members, Mr. Dan Smith, who's in Demarest, Georgia, on a personal matter with a family member, his son. And so I'm asking you guys to consider allowing him to participate by electronic means.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so I guess we can include him. As we normally do, let's go around the table with introductions. Tyrone Nelson representing Henrico County. And then we'll start on the back row, make our way around, and then come over to this side.
Bonnie Ashley, General Counsel.
Lincoln Saunders, City of Richmond.
Andre Addison, City of Richmond.
Barb Smith, Chesterfield County.
Jim Engel, Chesterfield County.
Dave Anderson, Chesterfield County.
Ellie Roberts, City of Richmond.
Todd Ure, Henrico County.
Cheryl Adams, CEO, GRTC.
And Lance, when are we at? Anthony Carter, GRTC.
Didn't prepare
Mark
one,
Carter, GRTC.
but I might be able to get Joe to get the one from the committee.
All right, see if you can do that.
Mark Renee, GRTC.
Johnson's Road, GRTC.
Adrian George, GRTC.
That's correct.
James Swift, GRTC.
All right, thank you. Welcome everyone to the meeting. Public comments. Do we have any? All right. Yes, sir. And we did have 2 public comments, I think, that was sent to us yesterday, so, yeah.
My name is Maurice Carter, President of ATP Local 1220. I'm here. I talked last month about National Express. I have an operator here today to share her testimony.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to make this quick. I've been employed with National Express now for next month would have made a year. Due to some circumstances, I'm not there now, which led me to the board meeting. I enjoyed my employment with National Express. I did my job to the best of my ability, no incidents or anything. Up until last week, I had a conversation with one April, I forget her last name, but I talked to her about something, and then pertaining to what she said, I went to Stephanie because I felt what she said or how she did it was just inappropriate. So I went and I spoke with Stephanie about it. And then when I came in yesterday, I was presented a termination. So I just felt kind of bad about it because I really dedicated a whole bunch of time, energy to the company. And a year is not a long time, but it's a substantial amount of time to not have any incident and follow their protocol, customer service, decent out there in the road with the people. So I basically just wanted to say that it was sort of heart-wrenching, and I enjoyed my time there, and I did what I was supposed to do, and that's how it ended with us as of yesterday.
She just wanted to share a moment. She had a situation with the safety manager, brought it to the assistant general manager situation, and it got escalated to her being terminated yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else, public comments? All right, we need approval. We need a motion to approve the minutes from our January 16th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Consent agenda. Hostas renewal, articulated buses, Western Pulse extension, North-South Pulse extension, 418, 457, plan policy changes, updates. I think we got the agenda a couple of days ago. Yeah, what's the day? Tuesday? Yeah. So you guys had a chance to read over it. Anyone have any questions? If so, we'll call the appropriate staff up to answer your questions. If not, is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Operational updates, Mr. Barham.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I'll be giving you the updates on the operational performance, starting on page 16 of the board packet. The Transportation Department, most of the KPIs are remaining pretty steady, and we are continuing to monitor the service, addressing the operational issues as they present themselves. We finished the month with 322 full-time operators, 27 part-time operators, 9 operators in various stages of training. As of this morning, we have 325 full-time operators, 27 part-time operators, 3 operators in training, and we have another class scheduled to start next Monday. So right now, we're just maintaining, making sure that we stay fully staffed, and as we gear up for our next schedule changes with the schedule increases, service that's coming up in the next few months. For the Safety Department, continue to monitor those critical issues that we've been addressing the last few months, fixed object type accidents. We do have safety meetings scheduled this month, end of this month and the first part of March, and continuing to work with the operators in the service area with trainers and transportation supervisors to make sure that we are addressing those issues as well. For the Maintenance Department, KPIs look pretty good. PMIs doing an excellent job maintaining those. We're fully staffed on the tech side with mechanics and short 1 general utility person currently in that position, should be filled here shortly. As far as the call center customer service goes, we continue to address those 2 areas of emphasis, bypassing passengers and in terms of customer service, route operators. So we are out there working with the operators, making sure that we are doing ride-alongs, encouraging them on the techniques in terms of how to interact with the customers. We also had 4 accommodations this past month, and one of them included a thank you and appreciation for the new Service 1A that went into effect in January. Those are the overview for the operations. Any questions, comments?
And we do have a couple of questions, I'm sure.
Just a quick question. I should remember this, but on page 17, the Spectran no-shows, mid last year, there was a big drop from 10 to 4. There was a correction. Is that what it was that resolved that?
Yes. And also, for those of you not quite familiar what the definition of a no-show is, that's when the vehicle does not come within the 5-minute window or it's considered on time. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking the other thing. No-show is when the customer, for whatever reason, is not there at the designated time. So we have a 30-minute pickup window, 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after the scheduled pickup time. So a customer, we pick them up in that time window. But if they're not there for whatever reason, or if they're late in canceling their trip, that's what constitutes a no-show.
But the reason for that 6% drop was something internally that we did in terms of
We
monitoring.
switched over to our different scheduling software. We went to VIA this past August, which kind of changed parameters and how that's being measured.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
And one thing I do want to note, speaking of transportation, I didn't mention it earlier on the report. They have had some increase in their on-time performance. Their performance levels have gone up incrementally the last few months. And in fact, this past month, they finished with 91.6%, and they're required at 92%. So this is the first month they've actually, if you round it up, actually met the on-time performance criteria for the month.
So we're at 325 full-time.
Today, yes, sir.
And this time last year, we probably were where? 250, 260?
Probably lower than that. We're probably in the 230 range, give or take. So yes, we reached our 100 operators last fall. So right now we're just maintaining.
So what's the starting pay? So just somebody off the street.
Ooh, I know the top pay is 30, and it's, yo, go ahead, Cheryl.
Starting pay right now is $23.85.
$23.85, and then you can jump up. Then, like if you,
Incrementally, over like a 2.5 year period up to 30.
so we're at $23.85. Okay. All right. So I think the school systems are, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. So Richmond, I think is at 23 or 24. Thinking Rico is trying to beat that. So it's gonna be a constant war for pay as we continue to move
We've been kind of dealing with that the last few years or so. You know, one point we would be up, another point they would go up. So it's kind of been.
Well, and the only difference I think is our top pay is $32. And
Yes. We still.
All right. Any other questions? Yes.
Where are we on number of spec-hand drivers?
Let's see, right now, I think there are like 82 operators, if I'm not mistaken. So about 10 short, give or take. Is that right? 84 is right now? Try to get at least 90, so just a few short.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Ridership performance. Say your last name for me one more time. Adakwe. Thank you.
Good morning. This morning, just wanted to share with you a high level of ridership information from our system. Starting with the starting with the polls, comparing the month of, well, we're going to, for most of the presentation, we'll be looking at the month. Between December 23 and January 24, we have seen an 8%. And comparing this year to January of this year to January of last year, we have seen an increase of 3% on the poll. So clearly, the poll system well. For our arterial routes, it's a mix of performance there. You see some of them different routes. Two of the routes that I want to highlight here is the 1A and the 19. As of the January booking, we made some changes to the 1A. We had extended the 1A to Walmart Way on Midlothian Turnpike, and this is what the ridership looks like before and after. So if you look at the before extension piece, which is from January 1 to January 13th, and then the after at 27. So that's like a 2-week period, and this is what it looks like now. The map to the right kind of shows the stop level activity, telling us, which of the stops are mostly utilized, and you can tell, the Chesterfield Shopping Center, the Chesterfield, I think it's a Chesterfield Town Center, and then as well as the Walmart piece of it. Those are some of the popular stops on the extended portion of the route. The other piece is the 19, and the 19 we extended it to Bushland, and then also we shortened the headway to 15 minutes. So this is what the ridership on it kind of currently looks like. And then to the right is the map that shows the ridership on the stops. Looks like the stops are the Shell Trinams. I think there's like some sort of interest there. For our committee, rate of month and then the year over year, clearly you can see that, it's all doing well, with the exception of, let's see. Exception of Route 76. That looks like for the month, we're seeing a dip in all of the routes, and then the year over year. So it means that, January of 2024 is, we're doing a lot more better than we did last year. And for the express route, interestingly, they're all doing well in terms of the month over month as well as the year over year, just with the exception of Route 64. And as we all know, as at November 13th, we had launched the microtransit service called the Link in the Azalea zone, and we just wanted to share some of the information that is coming out of the service. So one of the things we wanted to do, as the Link service was to replace, or is to replace, the Route 93, and we just wanted to do a comparison between those services just to see what the performance looks like. So, the two maps show the ridership comparison between the Link and Route 93. Clearly you can tell that the Link is picking up. As we all know, Route 93 was eliminated, I think that's January 13th. So this is what ridership on the Link looks like in comparison to Route 93. This is also ridership, but we also wanted to look at like averagely just to tell you how many people use that Link within a day. So this tells that story again in comparison with Route 93. You can tell from November to January the Link has seen considerably a higher increase in terms of ridership. Average ridership day. Then we also wanted to, look at where the pickups and drop-offs and the map clearly shows where the activity areas are. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a gray line showing where the 93 used to operate. And you can clearly tell that before I think the Richfield and the Treehouse apartments, you can see how the Link is performing there. And even with the areas where we have fixed route going out there, especially to the Brooklyn, the Brook Hill Azalea Shopping Center, you can still see the activity of the micro transit service. Unfortunately, the Bonticore medical facility, we haven't really seen much going on there. And I know that our has been in touch with the economic the development team just to try to see how best we can disseminate information about the service. So this is what the pickups and drop-offs within the zone currently looks like. So we want to look at the efficiency of the service. And to the left, you will see the total monthly trips. To the right, you will see the trips that were shared and those that were unshared. And you can tell that right from November to January, that has gone up. The shared trips they have all gone up, showing that people are now beginning to understand how the service works. Then this also shows efficiency in utilization of the service. And for people to be able to book trips, we have two main types of booking methods, and you can in as much as a lot of people are using the phone app, there are still a considerable number of people that are calling in to book their trips. Trip booking, making sure that we are fair to each of the groups. So I believe that is the overview of the partnership performance. And I don't know if there are any questions.
Quick question. Could you go back to Route 19, the map?
Yes, sir.
Just got a question as to some of the stop locations and whether and how we go about selecting those. I think it was close to the beginning of your presentation. So my question is if the circles represent the stops, correct?
The circles represent the average ridership, the ons and offs, right? Yeah, but the stops are around those areas.
So it's just a curiosity. We have, and I know there's office use at the hub there, but the retreat at the Notch seems to be a center of potential ridership of people making choices of getting on and riding transit versus getting in their car and going somewhere else. But is there a decision made, and this is more of a general question, when we have routes that run by what are residential and growing in their residential nature, focusing on being very convenient to those residential areas to give people a better choice ridership option?
Are you saying that?
I'm saying there's not a dot at the retreat. I'm curious as to why. Is it a traffic thing, or is it because you're asking people at the retreat to walk one direction or another, and so the likelihood, human nature, is that they're just going to get in their car and drive. And so this is an option ridership location. The retreat is not a place that, generally speaking, is a needs-based ridership. But just curious about how we tether, does that make sense? How we tether potential ridership to residential areas when it's extended.
Representative actual stops and showing them. Typically you do set stop placement and there's usually 1,250 to 2,500 feet.
Okay.
I think there is a stop.
It might be there.
Showing.
Got it. Thank you.
But we'll check and let you know.
If that is different, we can.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure it's a stop.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. All right, financial update, subcommittee report. Mr. Engel.
On the 8th, we met and we went over the December financials, which look great. See them, I think, starting on page 42 in your report. And we had a little bit of discussion about what the FY25 budget's going to look like. The key financials through the first 6 months, like I said, start on page 42. And if you have any questions, we can have John speak to them.
Anybody have any questions about the financial report? All right, I feel like at least half of us are on the finance committee, so. You hear it and none, so, yeah. All right, Chief Executive Officer's report.
Good morning again. I just have one update. I wanted to let you know in response to President Carter's comments last month, we did meet with next area general manager who oversees this site as well as some additional sites, and they are committed to working with the union. They're going to establish some regular meetings to meet with the union to address concerns as well as other initiatives. But in addition to that, we have applied for funding, for grant funding to do an analysis of that service. And part of that analysis is to look at the operational performance, but also to look at the possibility of bringing it back in-house. Well, outsourcing versus in-house. So once we get those funds, we'll hire a consultant to take a look at that overall service. We'll be back in touch.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's
All
it.
right. So I don't want to overshare, Bonnie. So just tell me if I'm, as it relates to, so we do need to go into closed session. We have been talking about the CEO's review. I think I brought that up last month. And so there's a process. So we have to establish a current contract that we have not established yet. You know, we moved Cheryl to her current position, but didn't do a contract for the CEO position like all the other ones have had in the past. All right. So this came to our attention because it was review time. So we have to put in place a current contract that will only be in place until we finish our review, so we can do a new contract, right? So the contract is the first thing. So I don't think we have that today. So we talk about that procedure now, and we can't do that in closed session.
Procedures and
Okay.
specifics would be appropriate for closed session.
Okay.
Specifics of,
Okay, so Lincoln, I know volunteered to kind of work on that. Bonnie, can you help with that?
yes,
Okay, all right.
yes, sir.
So are you guys okay, so that we don't have to wait another month? That once they get something, that we can pass it around, review it, okay it, then we can present it. Because if not, it's just gonna drag, it's just gonna keep on dragging us along, right? So let's just get that done. All right, so we're gonna get the contract piece done. We'll get it to you. In the meantime, I've started some conversations that I will share specifics about in closed session. And then once we get the contract, we'll sit down with Cheryl, and then we're gonna do the review. So Joe has a review form that he's gonna give us, but I don't want us to start messing with that until we get the contract, all right? But the review form is all ready to go, and we can get together. And what I would like, unless you guys individually wanna do them, that if you could get, you know what I'm saying? So like, Chesterfield can get together and give a form. So we don't have to read like 10 different.
But two of us can.
At the time.
What you mean?
How to be in a public meeting.
We can't three of us can't get together at the same time because
Well,
we can
no.
gather in
You
twos.
can get with your folk. Oh, no, because their board members here too.
Yeah.
We can handle it.
Well, yeah.
We know how to do twos and twos.
All right, just figure it out. We'll do the same thing, and Richmond will do the same thing.
Be
And,
glad to meet with me and then meet.
right. So that's the process, right? So we get the current contract, just let's say we had a contract, and we'll do the reviews, put them together cumulatively, share them with Cheryl, share them with you, and then that will guide us with our new contract. And everything that we do, it'll have to go back retro to January, whatever the date is, 18th or whatever it is, yeah. All right, process. Anybody have any process questions? All right, if not, then Lincoln, can you read the?
I move that GRTC's Board of Directors hold a closed meeting pursuant to section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia for the discussion and consideration of the performance and salary of the Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Richmond Transit Company. For a second.
All right, been moving in second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. I'm gonna ask that we clear the room with everybody but Bonnie and Jill.
Whereas the Board of Directors of GRTC is convened in closed meeting on this date pursuant to the affirmative recorded vote in accordance with provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas Section 2.2-3712, the Code of Virginia requires certification by the board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the board hereby certifies that to do the best of each member's knowledge, only public matters lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements by Virginia law discussed in a closed meeting to which this certifying resolution applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the board. Witness the following vote of the board. Call out. Okay. Mr. Nelson. Mr. Addison.
Yes.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mr. Engel.
Aye.
Myself, aye. Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ewer. Certified.
All right, so we're good. Any other business? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you, guys. Joe, can we move them? All right, perfect, perfect.
You got it.